This weekend I went to the military surplus store in town, and the guy behind the counter goes, "Hey, you looking for magazines?" I said, "Yeah, I sure am." He pulled up a whole bag of M9, Beretta M9 magazines. These are the old 15 rounders. They were really cheap, so I said, "I'll buy one. And if it turns out to be good, I'll come back and get some more." But this is a Checkmate. The brand on this says Checkmate, and Checkmate has a bad reputation for feeding problems. Now, I think a lot of that was because they had an oxide finish, and this one does not. So I think this was made before the Checkmate got the problems. This one's dated 1996. But anyway, before I take this at range, I want to clean it and give this thing the best opportunity for success that I can. So if we look on the bottom, you see the bottom plate, there's a little circle there. I'm going to take a bullet. I'm going to depress that little button. Then this cap will just kind of slide forward. Now this is under a lot of spring pressure, so keep your thumb over it. We'll slide this plate off. And there's my magazine spring, comes right out. And it's not too bad, not too dirty. We'll push the follower down. We'll drop that out the bottom. That's not that bad, and not too dirty. So we've got this hollow magazine body, and I'm going to take a brass brush and just kind of knock loose any kind of dirt, sand, oil, whatever's in there. We'll kind of knock it loose. And I'm going to give a little bit of spray, a little brake free in there. All right. So we'll clean that body up pretty well. I got a homemade mop, just a coat hanger with some rags tied on there, pressed on the end. I could use a shotgun bore mop, but I'm gonna use my homemade mop to kind of mop that out and see what kind of yucky stuff we can get out of there. Not too bad, huh? Well, not as bad as I was expecting, honestly. I've got a little 4/0 steel wool here on the bench. I got a little bit of that break free now on the body. I'm just going to clean up this body. We'll clean that up. Actually, it seems to be very smooth. It's not like that oxide finish like I was expecting. If you go online and you do a little research on these Checkmate magazines, they've got some bad ratings, with feeding problems and sticking, especially when guys got over to Iraq and Afghanistan and they got any kind of sand in there. They said they were having problems with them. But this one looks like it was never in the desert. So I just hit that body with the 4/0 steel wool, using that break free as a little lubricant and a little cleaner. It does say cleaner right there at the top. So I'll take a nice white rag. We'll wipe the body down. What did we get off of there? Not really that bad. I was expecting this thing to be a lot dirtier. Like I said, it was literally in a bag full of other magazines. But it seems to be cleaning up pretty well. There's that body. You see here it says Checkmate. If we flip it over, this is kind of cool part. It says restricted, law enforcement, government use only. Gotta like that. Made by the lowest bidder. Our spring doesn't look too bad. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move my cookie sheet over so I don't get any lubricant on my bench. I'm just going to, spray that spring down. We'll clean the spring up. I like that spring to be able to slide up and down that magazine body freely. It doesn't need to be dripping with any kind of lubricant. Just kind of want to wipe all the excess off. Got that break free everywhere, didn't I? All right, so we're clean on the inside and out. As I mop that inside out again. Take a look at that follower now, and that didn't look too bad either. We'll put a little squirt on there. We'll clean that up. Just that plastic, that hard plastic or nylon follower should be able to move up and down inside that magazine freely, so it has no problems feeding rounds into that little M9. All right, so we've got now a clean follower. We've got our clean magazine body. My hands are a little oily. That's probably not a bad thing. But that cleaned up pretty well. Not a lot of wear on there. Just a little bit of scratches. This thing looks like it was probably stored more than was used. That's always a good sign. All right, let's put our spring back in place. You'll see there's a rounded bottom, a squared bottom. It's going to go in. It's going to orient just like that. So we'll put our follower in. Drop that in. We'll run our spring in. Again, it's going to have that spring pressure. So we'll put that spring back in place, hold it with my thumb. We'll slide that base plate back on. Make sure that button gets pushed down below that little base plate. And there we go, we're back together. So now we've got a nice, clean 15-round magazine for that M9 or that Beretta 92, just like new. How about that? Quick and easy. All right, she's all cleaned up. We'll see how she fits here. Take that empty magazine, we'll put it in the... Ooh. Well, seems to function like it should. I think we're good to go. Next time you see this mag, it'll be at the range. How about that? Holds open like it's supposed to. Ejects and feeds like it's supposed to. Well, we'll see how she runs.